Right, let's get this out of the way. I was born with one hand smaller than the other, and it looks like a Monster Munch. And I know that because I did that joke, and some Americans text me the next day on Instagram, and they said, "We had some Monster Munch after your show, and they're really nice, and they do look like your hand." Yeah, it's a birth defect. It's a birth defect caused by a lack of oxygen to the fetus when it's in the womb. I researched that. It's an interesting way to find out your mum's into asphyxiation, isn't it? But there you go. Whatever she's into. Hope it was fucking worth it, Mandy. You'd be forgiven for thinking, right, I must have had quite a hard time at school with a visible disability, but I'm going to tell you something quite different. When I got to school, aged 4, I realised that to other 4-year-old lads, this was interesting as fuck. You know what I used to do to make friends? I used to chase girls around the playground with my hand because they were scared of it. I didn't give a fuck. And I was making friends. Building on sand though, right? Because a couple of years later, get to my teen years, want to get a girlfriend. Everybody in my little town in Yorkshire remembers me as a guy that used to chase them with his fucking hand, and no one wanted to be fingered by me, is what I'm trying to say. Late bloomer. I mean, I was actually happy, but you know, I had to have a lot of surgery on my hand. It was a lot worse, right? At one point, all the fingers were webbed. So, yeah, like a goose. If I still had it today, I could use it as a cup. I could go into Pret and just be like, "Can I get a double espresso, please?" But we got, basically, I was having a lot of trouble opening doors, tying my laces, using cutlery and stuff like that. And thankfully, when I was about 11, my parents got a call from this guy in Leeds who fixes things for kids. He was a paediatric surgeon. I don't know where you're going with that. But I remember standing there, and what he said to me is, "We're going to give you an operation that's going to change your life, mate." And I went, "Okay, what are you going to do?" And he said, "We're going to remove these 2 fingers that you can't use very well." And I went, "How's that going to help?" He said, "Don't worry, we are going to replace them." And I said, "With what?" And he said, "The second biggest toe on each foot." What the fuck are you talking about? Fuck it, we went with it, right? And that is toes on my hand. See, what a time to be alive, London. When I play football, I can just pick it up and run around. And every single girl I've ever slept with has been toed in the hole. Oh. Juvenile, that, isn't it? Imagine thinking of that at 35. It's nice we can talk about these things. I used to be really kind of self-conscious about talking about anything to do with my condition. Blokes are not good at talking about their feelings, right? At all. Okay. I've never been good at it. When someone asks me how I am and I'm going through a hard time, I immediately turn into the football manager, Sean Dyche. You know, if you don't know who Sean Dyche is, he sounds like a griddle pan. Someone will ask me how I am and I'll just be like, "Oh, I'm just taking it day by day." Depression's come in with a good game plan, and suicidal anxiety down the wings has been fantastic, and hats off to it, really, hats off. That's how I talk about my mental health. And that is, guys, this is why I'm so jealous of women. I'm so jealous of girls. Because you guys are really good at being friends with each other. Like, you don't just talk, you go public. I saw this thing that I want to call a sad girl coffee morning. If you've not been to one before, a sad girl coffee morning is where, like, one girl, like, already, okay. This always happens. People are realising they've seen them. One girl is sad about something, they text the group chat, and the group chat fucking mobilises. They're like, "Don't worry about it, we're going down to a public place, we're going to trauma bond over this." And I saw it in this cafe. It was like a nice coffee shop. Like, you've got to wear leggings to get in, that kind of, it was in Clapham. And there was these 3 girls just sat at a table, holding hands and crying. And I thought, good for them. Because I will never experience this as a straight man. I'll never get that level of friendship, right? It was beautiful. One of them had brought tarot cards to see what's going to happen next. And I've got no problem with astrology, right? None. I just don't need astrology to tell me which planets are making me sad. Because it's Earth. Funny story, right? I was walking around East London and I saw like an astrology shop that sold like healing crystals and sage and shit, right? And it was called She's Lost Control. That's like the quiet bit you're not supposed to say out loud. That's like having a craft beer shop or called He's having a divorce, fucking leave him alone. Anyway, I'm watching this sad girl coffee morning and the original girl starts talking away and she's like, well, I've been seeing this guy for like 4 months and I thought it was going really well, but he texted me the other night and he said that he doesn't think we're compatible long term, he doesn't think we have a future, so rather than dragging out over a long period of time, he just wanted to put a boundary in place and end things there and then. And I thought that sounded healthy. Apparently not, Ryan. Because my best friend heard that and went, fuck that guy! What a cunt! She's in the middle like, I think it's because he's got these commitment issues he's always been talking about. And her mate comes up with the best line ever. He went, he hasn't got commitment issues, mate. He's got a tattoo on his fucking face. Beautiful. And then her other friend wants to get involved. And she does this thing called girl bossing, right? Or boss girling, I don't know which way around it is, but I love it. I wish blokes would do it for each other. You say a compliment which is not related to what's going on. And it takes their mind off things, and she's crying away, going, oh, fuck him, I'm really sad, but fuck it. And her friend goes, she puts her hand on her shoulder, and she goes, babe, you deadlifted 85 kg. You don't fucking need no man. What the fuck is the connection here? What the... But like, it worked. It took her mind off. They started talking about other stuff, right? Like, why is that guy in leggings staring at us? I am jealous of this, right? I'm not patronising this. I'm jealous of it because I had a breakup a couple of years ago and I texted my best friend of 15 years. And you know what I got back? A fucking gif of Ricky Gervais doing that fucking dance. That's it. And then he was like, oh, do you want to go down the gym or something? I'm like, no, Simon, I don't want to go down the gym. I want to go to a nice patisserie I've seen on TikTok. I want to hold hands with you. And I want to cry. I wish I had the balls to say that, I didn't. I just said, you know me, I'm just taking it day by day. I felt bad for this girl, right, because she had to go back on the dating scene. It isn't nice, we all know that, it's tough. And Hinge, Tinder, they're very sort of, the apps are very sort of discerning. I'm discerning myself, right, I'm no angel, right? I once swiped left on a girl because her friend looked loud. She was in 2 of her photos and I went, no, don't want to meet that. One girl was talking to me and she got really into it straight away and she just went, Richard, how big is your penis? And I said, well, on the one hand, it's average. But on I'll tell one story, right, about this date that I went on, and it taught me a bit of a lesson. She was a really cool photographer and stuff like that. I've been Googling her, so I knew this. And you've got to do this. And it started going really well, and she started holding my hand, right? This one girl, right? And I hadn't told her about it yet. So I was freaking out. I was like, shit, because usually I've got the sort of tried and tested tactic, which is like hide it, then wait for an emotional connection, then fucking reveal it. Well, you love me, do you? Is this? While I was freaking out about this, I forgot that, like, where they did the surgery, the nerve endings on my hand are not very good. So when someone's holding my hand, I can't always tell how hard I'm gripping back. Sometimes I can't tell when they're trying to get out. And I'd taken her for a walk in a park at night, haven't I? So she wants to let go of my hand, I just fucking wouldn't. She's thinking, well, he's needy at best. Anyway, I brought it up and I said, I'm so sorry, I've got this condition with my hand, and she said, I know. And I said, how? And she said, I've been Googling you. First thing that comes up is comedian with small hand. She said she just wanted to hold my hand on the first day, really quickly, to let me know that everything's okay, she don't care about any of that shit. That is nice, isn't it? Yeah. It never works out for me and her, unfortunately. She has a smile on her face, it's disgusting. Hi guys, that's been me. One more time for Richard.
It's time for our final act. You've been a tremendous audience so far. This guy's clapped the longest. That was great. Solo one. Do you want to be cheerleader for the final act? No, you love clapping.